I'm David McFarland, Creative Director at RE/MAX Integra and producer of our new podcast, Now We're Talking Real Estate. Our podcast is a series of interviews that take you on a deep dive into the DNA of top producers in our network. The Q&A and lively discussions will give you VIP access into the mindset, the techniques, the experience, and the passion of some of our most successful realtors. Hosted by Christopher Alexander, our Executive Vice President and Regional Director of our Ontario Atlantic region, we invite you to discover some of the common strategies these superstars all share, as well as surprising and unique insights that make each of them stand out from the pack in their own way. Here with us today is Tav Schembri. In his first year as a realtor, Tav sold over $75 million in property and was elected into RE/MAX's Elite Platinum President and Chairman's Clubs. Now Tav continues to grow his business and leads a team of successful agents serving the Caledon area. Specializing in acreages and luxury homes, there is no price too large or property too big. So put it into park or put it into drive. Just sit back and join us as we learn from some of the best in the business.
This is Now We're Talking Real Estate. I'm your host, Christopher Alexander, and I'm joined by our creative director, David McFarland. And today's guest is Tav Schembri. Welcome, Tav.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate you doing this. Can you give us a bit of background? When did you start in the business?
I started in the business 6 years ago, 2013.
All right.
Yeah.
You joined RE/MAX right away?
Yeah, RE/MAX was my first choice right from the get-go, really.
Awesome. And the market you work is Caledon, which is northwest of the city of Toronto.
Yeah, it's a nice community. We've been living out there for 30 years on a 56-acre farm. Yeah.
Okay. And, it's a mixed community. It's growing. What's the population there now? Do you know?
If you include Bolton, which is about half the population, it's about 75,000. We're rural Caledon, so rural Caledon's about half of that.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide area.
What were you doing before you got into real estate?
Well, funny thing is, I used to be a hairstylist.
Okay.
And it's actually helped me along, another fun career for me. And I had a little accident that I had to make decisions at that time. I wanted to make decisions, and real estate was something I was always interested in, yeah.
Awesome. Now, you had this little massive sale on your first deal. Could you dive into that for us and just explain how that all unfolded and what the price point was and all that?
Yeah, I was new in the business. I had known a lot of people. Our community is comprised of all sorts of people. We have TV stars, politicians, a lot of wealthy farmers, farms that have been generation after generation. They've been part of Caledon, and now the development is reaching. This one particular property was in Brampton, and I knew the farmer involved, and just by chance, I just started in the business, and I had mentioned it to him, and he had told me that he was selling this farm, and one thing led to another, and I was working actually Christmas Eve, and I had a couple of developers come into my office, yeah.
Okay. And what did you end up selling it for?
Well, there was a little bit of negotiation, but we got pretty close to what the farmer was asking for, and we sold it for $53 million.
First deal, right?
That was a very first deal.
No leases, first offer period?
That was the first offer, first deal. There was some due diligence happening, but within a few months it closed, and it was all good. Yeah,
it's unbelievable. So how did you, as somebody brand new in the business, what was going through your head when you priced it, first of all, and did you ever say to yourself, wow, like this is a $50+ million listing, I just started? Were you scared, nervous? Like,
I'll be honest, I thought that was going to be the first of many $50 million sales. I thought it was just common. There were a lot of people out there that were selling at that price point. I didn't think too much about it. I didn't have any hang-ups or was intimidated one way or the other because it was a large deal. I just kept going, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did things kind of snowball from there? But before you answer that, how did you stop clouding your mind with this is such a big deal?
Yeah. So my approach really to real estate, just in general, I looked at it. It was going to be another fun career for me, and that's what I was looking forward to. I know in real estate, I take the approach that there is a service that the client requires, and there's a service that I want to provide for them. So I don't look at it as a big deal or small deal that way. Is like I'm trying to provide a service to them. And most of my deals, because they're not all $50 million deals, I approach the same way. So we're really trying to help, try to make a sale. Didn't really think much about it, honestly. At the time, I just thought it was just another transaction, really, in real estate. It was my first one. Yeah. My first one, really. It was my first one, so I was just excited about getting a sale. That's what I could say. The amount really didn't matter if it was 500,000 or if it was like this one here, 53 million.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you've been, chairman Titan, close to $1 million since you started, really.
Yep. No, we have diamond. I've been diamond a couple of times. This year, I'm well over diamond.
Wow. So how do you do that? Like, most people work their entire careers and don't even make $100,000 a year, or let alone $500,000 or diamond.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Again, I use the same approach. I see a lot of different people that get into the real estate career, and I got into it not trying to reinvent the wheel. So, like I'd mentioned, is I look at it like I'm providing a service to them. They need this service. I am providing it to them. So that's really helped me along. And every day, I don't mind getting up in the morning to every deal is different. So it doesn't really feel like it's work right now.
Awesome. And you like what you're doing?
Yeah, I do. It's just I like it sometimes too much, and I like being on there. It's not like I'm forced to be on it. So it's easy to get up in the morning really and go to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you gained a lot of experience really quickly. You've had some really big numbers as far as sales go. How are you developing yourself to get even better? I mean, to have such tremendous success so quickly, how are you building yourself up? Yeah,
well, now we're more sophisticated. I have a team and a group that works with me. We try to take it from point A to Z for the client so that it's an easy transition and it's not so taxing on the client. So we'll go in now with, once we get the listing, we'll go in and we'll do the cleaning if necessary. We'll do the staging. We'll do everything that they need to get the home on the market and get it sold. So it can be a frustrating experience for homeowners. So I've got a strong team behind me, and it's run a lot smoother now, for sure.
How many people are on your team?
So what we do, we have our little Caledon office. Once you come up to Caledon, we have a social media person that's full time, and then we have a deal secretary, and then we have 3 or 4 different buyer agents that handle a lot of the calls and buyers for me. I'm primarily the listing agent.
Yep.
Yeah, for our office. Yeah.
Nice. So you've had tremendous success really early on. What advice would you give to somebody new that's starting out, outside of doing a $50 million deal your first time?
Well, now I know that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen
consistently.
Consistently, yes, yeah. So what I found really is one of my worst years, I'll be honest, that I had. I hired about 4 or 5 experienced agents, and they worked with me, and that was my worst year I ever had. So what I would recommend for new agents is to actually get out there and have some self-confidence in themselves, not to really learn too deeply into it, because that can tie you down quite a bit. And then all of a sudden you get really comfortable in front of a computer or with a book in front of you, when really you need interaction with people, talking to people and getting out there. So I find with new agents, they are comfortable with the course, very, very bright. They're comfortable in front of a computer nowadays. When they get out to try to get that listing, a lot of that goes out the door. Mm-hmm. They're not talking to a computer now. There's a live person asking questions and things. So,
well, they don't teach you about sales in the courses either. It's just the rules.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that your hairstyling background that is helping you out in your soft skills, your people skills, do you think?
That's a really good point because I do, like I was saying, there was a lot of different walks of life in the Caledon area. So I could be doing someone that lives in, we have a trailer park close by, and I would be doing their hair, and I'd be able to carry on similar conversations, and the next person that's coming down into my chair would be, a multimillionaire, very well off. So there are a lot of similarities really between the two different personalities. What it did teach me, I'll tell you, where it did help me out quite a bit is when I used to do hair and, you start to really see body language. So, for example, Chris would come in, he wants a haircut, and I say, well, how is it? How do you like it? And he would say, yeah, that's okay. So, you pick up on those things and you would really, to me, that's saying that he's really not happy. He's going to walk out that door and he's going to be, look at his hair all the time and he's not going to be happy until he comes in again for another haircut. So you really have to read past those answers and maybe you look at their body language. And that's helped me a lot from my hairstyling career. No question, yeah.
What are some of the things you wish you knew when you first started in the business?
So a couple of things where the details in terms of contracts. I wish I had paid a little bit more attention to contracts and details and crossing the T's and dotting the I's. I thought it was more along the lines of selling, really, basically. But there is another element to real estate that you need to take care of.
Yeah. What would you say is driving your business today, and what things are you investing in to generate new customers?
So what's really helped us now, I have a full-time social media person. Everything has gone now, is on the internet. The clients are internet savvy. A lot of them, they know a lot about real estate. A lot of them think they know a lot about real estate. So we have a team, and we take them from A to Z. And that's what I want to make it. I want to make it as smooth as possible for the seller. And whatever really, that's been part of our motto. We go by the new generation of real estate. So like I was saying, we'll go in to not lose a listing. We'll go in, we'll clean their house, we'll move boxes, we'll store boxes, we'll do whatever we have to do to get that listing so that it is a comfortable transition for them.
Nice. So would you say the experience of working with you and your team is what really drives your business?
Yeah, I'm working with my team, to be honest. The team I have right now is part of the reason why I can get up in the morning and go to work. That 1 year that I had, it was just uncomfortable because they were more experienced than me and they were telling me what to do and what not to do, and I wasn't experienced, so it was difficult getting up during that period, I remember, and going to work because it was almost like they were, telling me how to run the real estate business, and I didn't really agree with a lot of the things the way they had run it in the past.
Yeah.
So, but now the last few years, it's been great. Getting up and going to work, and I look forward to it every day. Really.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you look forward to most?
Well, I just like every deal is so different. Looking up the transactions, old transactions, new transactions. I'm pretty competitive. I look what other people are doing. I want to work at the level of the top agents, and it's exciting. It's exciting when we have our conference down in Vegas every year, when I meet that roundtable discussion. I meet so many people, and it's really interesting. It still is, yeah.
Is there a certain mantra or passion that you think makes you successful?
People ask that, some people are more aggressive when they sell, some people aren't. I find you really have to be accountable and true to yourself. You can say different things, why you miss a deal, why you don't miss a deal, or try to shift the blame to somebody else. But I find if you're really truthful to yourself, you really do really well in the business. So you can move forward. There is one thing that I think that was pretty impactful in my life, and I played a little bit of squash where you have to make a lot of decisions during a game, and you have to readjust. Really, like not everybody's played squash, but it could be any sport. So it's making the adjustment in midstream has really helped me a lot. So I think most people that are starting out should have that sport or hobby that you have to make decision makings on the spot pretty quick. So that's helped me for sure grow. I come from a pretty disciplined background. My parents, that's helped me also. So we worked on the farm and stuff. And again, we're pretty accountable with what we had to do also. Yeah.
So you've been in the business 6 years. A lot of talk out there about changing models, different consumer expectations, disruption. What would you have said, or what would you say has been the biggest change you've seen since you started in the industry?
Well, the biggest change is even the clients now, they're all the internet. There's so much information out there. In one way, it's helpful. It's made things a little bit easier so they understand. But again, there are people that think our job is, easy. Pretty simple. Yeah, easy. So they know it all, and they're sort of trying to tell us how to do our job. And
how do you handle that?
Well, I do tell them what I do 11 hours a day, and I do give them examples of what they do and try to make that comparison. And you're doing it day in and day out. We are experienced. We have results. We are trained. After a while, I think they understand that because there's always other realtors that are feeding them on the other side. And a lot of times I always like to, ask them who the realtor is. And a lot of times they don't say because it's just somebody.
Yeah.
So that's the way I handle that. I say it very politely, so I'm not hurting their feelings, but I do want them to know that I am working on their behalf, and we have results, and we are trained to sell their house.
Nice. So where do you think you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years?
Right now, I'll be honest. I like my team. I like my setup. I like where I am. I like who I'm working with. Like right now, I'm on cloud 9. Like 3 to 5 years is like, if it just continues like where I am, I would be very content. There's a couple of things that I may have to change because I really do like the business, and it has been easy for me to get up every day. Is maybe get in the exercise room a little bit more often, sort of thing. So
don't we all?
And I'm doing it. Yeah. So if I could change one thing, that would be the change. But everything else, I think we have a pretty good balance between family and work.
Are there different facets to your business? Are you doing a lot of marketing, or like where would you say you're focusing most on as far as generating business? Is it marketing? Is it lead gen online? Is it repeat and referral?
Yeah, we do all those things that you just mentioned. So those are we put a lot more back into the business. We'll spend probably 30% of our sales on marketing, and that's always produced results for us. We do have, like I mentioned, a full-time social media person. We work with lead generation companies. We work with referrals. All those things are become part of our business daily.
Well, and you haven't been in it long enough really for much repeat. So next year will be your 7th year. It'll be a big repeat year, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the average cycle is about 4 to 7 years. So interesting. Do you see any big changes on the horizon since you've been doing this?
What I do see is there is a large change going on in the real estate market and field. I don't know, with different government regulations, different companies getting into the industry, a lot of them unqualified people coming in, and I think it could be a little bit more demanding on the new agent coming in. So
no argument here.
Yeah.
Not demanding, just having higher standards.
Yes.
And, it's the barriers of entry to the business are so, frankly, low. It's inexpensive to stay in business in Southern Ontario. and it's just not doing the right service or justice to the consumer. So
Yes. Yeah.
I echo that 100%. So are there any mistakes you made that you could maybe talk about at a high level that you could encourage people not to make in their business?
Yes, yeah. Especially, like I had mentioned, one of the big, I'll say, distractions for me is the paperwork really in the business. I mean, even since the short time that I've been in it now, our paperwork has increased quite a bit. And you have to make sure your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. I'd like to see the industry be more, respect the industry a little bit more. It seems like the agent gets a bad rap for a lot of things, whether it's the government, and some is justified. There's no question about it. But, there's more government regulations. There's more things online. So you have to be, quite frankly, on top of your career, know what the changes are. Yeah.
Tav, you're a really busy guy. You're selling a lot of homes, doing a lot of volume. You've got a team. Do you find time to do some community involvement? Are there specific charities you like to work with or any of that stuff?
That's a good point. I think I've come now. I've really looked at that phase of my life even more. I've always been part of the Children's Wish Foundation with that RE/MAX.
The Children's Miracle Network, yeah.
The Miracle Network, yeah,
Yeah.
since day one. So that's one. Another charity that I work quite a bit with is Operation Smile.
Okay.
And we're always working with charities. We try to give back to the community, local communities. There's a development challenged group in our community that we contribute to. So we do like to get more involved in the community. It's one of those things. There's so much time in a day, and you've got your family. You want to look after yourself, and there are a lot of functions that people like to go to, but you have to draw the line sometimes, but you try your best.
So last question, I'll get you out of here on this one. How has working for RE/MAX impacted you so far?
Well, when I first started, a lot of the things that I've been involved with, whether it was hairdressing, we always competed, provincially and nationally. I've always wanted to work at the highest level. So if I was going to get into real estate, there was really, I find RE/MAX was, even at that time, I mean, now it's even larger, but it was the number one brand. And I wanted to compete against that high level. So to raise the bar.
So competition.
Yeah, to have competition. Yeah, it's all good. Competition is good. And you pick up a lot of different ideas and the way people work. It's been a great experience.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Tav, for doing this. It's been a real pleasure having you on the show, and continue your awesome story of success.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode. So thanks to Christopher, and thanks to our special guest, Tav Schembri. And thanks to you for listening with us. We hope you found some insight and inspiration in our conversations that you can use in your business. Join us next time on Now We're Talking Real Estate.